So let's go. All right, Frank. CAW radio was stupid, man. I think I mean the concept makes sense though. You know, it's just them trying to venture out and do something different because they see it work good as a wrestling company. Can they do successful in the radio? And I mean, even though it get its bad backlash, and trust me, it's way well deserved. It deserve all the backlash you get for being so terrible. But at the end of the day, you know, it had the guts to go up against HY. You gotta understand, man. HY in a way put out SIDE. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, people was afraid to come up with radio shows on XTV West. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh damn, like they was the big juggernaut. They was the big shit. So you had people that was kind of scared to touch that. You know what I mean? And CAW had the balls, but not the talent to actually compete up against it. Why do you think it didn't work, Monster? Too much was going on. You know what I mean? People want to watch wrestling. They don't want to hear wrestling. I mean, you can hear baseball and shit like that. That's cool. You know what I mean? But nobody want to hear like a radio show wrestling. Like CAW, we recorded it on cassette tape, yes. You know what I'm saying? You can hear the audio of the matches going on. This shit was cool. But of just the radio show, like wrestlers doing radio, nigga. Like I just say it that bluntly. You know what I mean? And even though MZ, Gakes, even though they had good chemistry, it ain't gonna work for no radio show, man. You know what I mean? I ain't never. And if you can point it to me, then extend your finger to where it be. In the history of my life, I've never seen announcers do a radio show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ever seen Jim Raw or Jerry the King Lawler? You ever seen them do a radio show? Yes, they do podcasts. I'm talking a radio show with music and all. You know what I'm saying? They can't be VJs. Wrestling announcers can't be VJs. VJs can't be wrestling announcers. I think one time, a long time ago, this ain't the CAW now, but it was a person that was a VJ that went to announce on a wrestling, and he sucked ass. You know what I'm saying? It was like Bash, right? So that's just what that is to me. And it looks like they tried to do it again in 2008, and it sucked again. You know what I'm saying? It was like, damn, just stop trying. Stop trying. Man, Broken Cross. Like, I got my criticisms of CAW. You know what I mean? But this was something that was very special to me. This was a special night. Where everybody got to shine. And I think this is a real big transitional period for XTV West Coast. Even though it's still the size era, this is one of the first times where you seen people really turning up. You know what I mean? And the idea of not giving a fuck was presented. I might talk a lot of shit by CAW. You know what I'm saying? But when I look at it on surface, you know what I mean? Let me just say this, man. Like, the best way to have self-confidence is to truly not give a fuck. You know what I mean? And with that being said, that's what this was to me. You know what I'm saying? This was the idea of not giving a fuck. That's what CAW represented. You know what I mean? And then when you got Pain jumping through tables, even though he a fake ass New Jack, yes, you know what I'm saying? And Tommy Dreamer, you already know the whole story with that. It's just the idea, man, of not caring and like that whole attitude. The attitude was what was was what I'm gonna remember most about that period. You know what I mean? And this event here, so much was put into it with not a whole lot available to us. You know what I mean? And that's what makes things special is when you ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? But with what you don't got, you making something out of it. Like 2002 was one of them, kind of a messed up year. You know what I'm saying? When it was one of them drawback shits. And when you look at things like Bars of Mania, that's why I love that event so much. Again, you know what I'm saying? That's us grown ass men and not having shit. But this us little kids not having shit, but we made something out of it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Size of Mania. This was that period. And I just say the Joab with the braids era, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, that nigga was, like, probably always going to the damn studio, you know what I mean? So we couldn't do sides and shit with him as much, you know what I mean? But shit, since we couldn't do that, we did Broken Cross. And, this was a good-ass event. I don't even remember the first match, what that was. I think it was Cowboy Jones in there, though. You know what I mean? One of them boys. And just the whole event itself, man, like Killer coming out there beating Faz like that, this was the start of something very epic and very big. And CAW, and I know we ain't get into the later years, but I feel like if it would have stayed with this concept and upgraded pieces here and there, it could have still held up as one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying? But like I feel like now in hindsight, it's not one of the greatest things, in my opinion, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't shoot me down. Please don't shoot me. I don't want to get shot. But I feel like in hindsight, you know what I'm saying? Looking back at it, it wasn't as special as we made it out to be. You know what I mean? And that's because it got way more ridiculous over time. But if we would have kept it at this type of level, and like I said, upgraded pieces here and there, it would have been remembered as one of the greatest things we created and thought of. But that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And this event was, again, special, man. I think Payne fought Gex in that ladder match for the CAW title. And Payne won that belt. Bobby came out there, you know what I'm saying, a very rare ass appearance. He came out there, he was like, CAW, and again, CAW was brought up upon because, like, they was like I said, Joy with the Breeze, you know what I'm saying? Joy was doing his own thing, you know what I'm saying? He was on what he was on at that time, but shit, even Bobby was getting word. IQ at the time, he was getting word that CAW doing something. It's this new thing, and for him to appear briefly and chant CAW along with everybody else, it's like, whoa, that shit was special to us. You know what I'm saying? Because like now it's reaching out to a wider mass instead of just XTV West is starting to be worldwide, and yeah, man, that's what I remember. I know I'm long ass winded on this, so it's okay. And you got that face like, man, nigga, we gotta wrap it up. But yeah, man, Frank, Deep Impact was real special too. You know what I'm saying? I think me and Too Hot fought there too in some weird ass mattress match. It's like, and again, it's just CAW being weird, but keep it like this, you know what I'm saying? And it was supposed to be the last pay-per-view, but it got so much attention and, people wanted it owned so much that shit was programs. Like, people was like, oh man, we want to see CAW. You guys were getting TV deals or offers? Yeah. Almost threw up, excuse me. We was getting a shitload of offers because, it was just so good, and like I think like it got put together so well, and CAW was done in the SIDE arena. Like that's what made that event so damn special. Is like CAW was always done in the Scheduler Dome, dirty ass place, but it got done in the SIDE room, on some like this is way the wrestling era in XTV started, kind of paying homage. So yeah, man. And I can't find my thing. Frank, you ever lose something? Yeah, Vlad. I'm not Vlad. Oh, he's your lane. I'm sorry. Yeah, man. But this was a real special pay per view. Best Fall MC. They had feud for a long time, and what started this feud? I mean, cause I want to go into different things like Yanitha, big ass Francine, big ass Francine. I don't even remember what really started. That whole beef there with motherfucking who that again? Oh, Best in MC. I wasn't really around for that. You know what I'm saying? I just know that this was a real tense era, man. You know what I mean? Like, people get tired of being on the bottom and the same niggas on top. People get tired of that shit, man. It's like, damn, bruh. You know, at first it becomes a community. You know what I'm saying? Like, you recognize that these the motherfuckers at the top and you can't touch them, and you where you at, and you got your group of people around you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at first it's like, nah, man, let's just stick together, man. We gonna all make it. We gonna all make it. And it's a little community. And it go from, we all gonna make it to, I'm tired of being around this nigga. I'm tired of the way he looking at me. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. And with that, egos come out of that. You know what I mean? Beef come out of that. Fights, all kind of fights come out of that. And I think that's what happened with this whole feud with Best in MC, is the wrong thoughts was happening in each individual's head, and as a result, shit, they had to square up, and it was an unnecessary fight. But shit, at least it was something original for CAW. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that was a good card. And he asked me about Yanitha, again, fake ass Francine. And I remember one time, and you gotta understand, I was a shy little nigga, just a big shy ass nigga. Like, how you be big and a shy nigga? And I went up there, and I was just like, Yanitha, you suck my dick. I was scared as hell, you know what I'm saying, for a response. And she was just like, now. And then she left. And I said, all right, then. I ask you later. Yeah, I mean, but I felt like I could have got her to do it. I was just so scared to ask her again, because that now was so loud and just piercing in my damn unsociable ass heart. And it was just like, no, stab. Oh, no, I've been foiled by the power of no. And that type of shit happened. And being depressed, hating life, and praying to God, and then praying to Satan. Praying to Satan. Clock in the house. Not literally praying to Satan, just saying, damn, life fucked up. Deep Impact, huh? The last CAW pay-per-view, but you mentioned different networks were going to pick it up. Which networks do you remember? Shit, TNN. I don't know what they is, nah, but yeah, TNN. Motherfucking, we had people like Access, little networks here and there, wanting to pick us up. All kind of shit, man. But the thing is, they was telling us, tone the violence down. Oh, okay. Calm down. He don't need to cuss that much. They were talking about Lil Killer. He don't need to cuss that much. He just a child. Calm that down. Do this, do that. We ain't trying to edit who we truly are. You know what I mean? We truly is this. This is us. Partially, because some of us trying to be like the Rascals, I name Tommy Dreamer and them, you know what I'm saying? But with us, with failure to adapt to what their company standards was, we just said, fuck it, we gonna be us till we make it. And in the grand scheme of things, CAW never truly made it. And I hope the wind ain't hitting up against this mic like it was in that one interview. But yeah, man, yeah. Hey, well, I know how you feel. You know, and it's crazy. I've been doing these interviews since 2013, and I just know when I'm going to bring up something where you don't even really want to talk. I just know the faces. Yeah, man. I mean, I seen Pain when we talked about Vic Vicious, Charles Dean when we talked about the lights getting cut off, and Trunks when we talked about, I think, the hospital incident. And you got the same face. Yeah, man. I mean, certain shit just hard to talk about. It's just hard to talk about. Hugh Street is one of those things where, man, shit, it's a thought, and you think it's just gonna stay there. It's like, okay, it's just gonna stay a thought, nothing more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time we went to visit grandma over there on Hugh Street, and she watching the NBA game. We go over there, you know, and I don't know what we went over there for. I think Sandra had gave us something, and it was me, and you know, Joanne and Soup was in the backyard. It was me, Miss A Man, and a bunch of different people. And I remember, man, Miss A Man, we was just having a good time laughing, and she sung this song. She was like, "The cereal bowl, the cereal bowl," and he had fell off this thing, and you know, we had a good ass laugh, bro. And that in it of its like that whole vibe was so good. But even then, I was like, damn, what if we ever have to live with grandma? You know? And shit, to be real, we ain't like going over grandma's house. Over here on the west, we ain't like it. You know what I mean? We thought grandma was mean. We couldn't stand going over there, really. We just stayed there until Sandra came home. You know what I mean? It's like that D.L. Hughley joke. It's like, shit, that's the mean grandma. You know what I mean? And later on, of course, we, you know, matured and you know, the different things we had to go through over time. But at the time, man, shit, we ain't like going over to that bit, you know. But she could make a hell of a hamburger. Anyway. So when we finally had to move, I remember, man, you know, we had came out of school. We look behind us. All our shit is packed. It's like, where we going? She said, we gotta move. We moving to grandma's house. That's what Sandra said. And I remember that first day over there on Hugh Street and shit, you know, it was just like this vibe though, man. It wasn't right. You know what I mean? Like we already didn't like Slot Middle School anyway, you know. But then here we are at Hugh Street, and it's like, damn, I ain't feeling this, you know. And the first day, Soup was getting ready for school, and he got mad, like Sandra was doing what she normally do, trying to antagonize him and, you know, get him to argue with her so she can look like she doing something. She was doing her usual, you know. And at the time, of course, Tony B, he gonna feed into it and he gonna wind up arguing. And then grandma came in there and she was like, you ain't gonna kick my ass. You ain't gonna kick my ass. She just got all in Tony B face. You ain't gonna kick my ass. You know, she didn't know what was going on, but she just, hey, she defended for her daughter because she probably watched Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake and all that. And he probably looked like one of them. And of course, Sandra always calling grandma when Tony B be acting up. And, you know, that's what I remember, though, about the first day. And, you know, you already know the history of that shit, Hugh Street. It ain't really got to be documented or said. It was shit. Was it true about you guys being locked out the house, XTV members? Hell yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, my nigga. I know you're white, but my nigga. We be getting locked out the house because she thinks somebody done took our pork chop. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff. And you used to live like bombs. And that's the fucked up thing about it. It's like going to Hunters Point, it's just the radio, but we can't do no programs because it ain't no backyard to do. It ain't no Moshedra Dome, so we couldn't do CAW at Hunters Point. You know what I mean? That's the reason for that lackluster ass HY. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like Hunters Point was so small. That apartment was so little. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was ass, man. You know what I mean? And the programs we would put out, you know, it was here and there, and it wasn't a whole lot. And so fast forward a little more down to Hugh Street. Now we can't do a damn thing because she ain't allow nothing. What I remember, she ain't allow us to hook no game system up, no VCR. We couldn't play Super Nintendo. We couldn't do nothing. You know what I mean? The only thing Soup ever did on Hugh Street as far as electronics was he had got a small TV, one of them super small TVs. Old school niggas, y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. Where you gotta put batteries in a damn small ass TV. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Tat. You know what I mean? And he had to put batteries in it. And he got a Nintendo 64. And the only game he had on that shit was Zelda and Super Mario 64. And so he put the damn Nintendo 64 into that small TV and tried to play Zelda on that little ass shit. It was so not fun, and it was ass, and I think he probably cried that night. It was like one of them type of things, man. Like, you know, it's like I'm trying to have fun, but it's hard. And shit, I mean, how did you guys survive though? Just playing Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. Nigga, that was the only thing we could do. On this very old ass radio, we just played Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. And, you know, that's it. Played that. And then we wound up getting a CD player. And we got the Eminem show. And you know, this is going to be a bash. And I'm going to get destroyed in a comment section. I'm going to get destroyed. I might get blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? But I don't care. You know, when you don't give a fuck, you don't care. The Eminem show overrated as a motherfucker, man. Like, I swear on everything I love. That shit is overrated. I popped that shit in. I thought it was a what you call this shit? Because we had some, like, what they call, you don't remember shit. Shut up, and that's why your voice changed. He was like the people, the cross the water people. Shit, I just say it the nigga way. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had sold us this Eminem show, and they was just like, yeah, it's a good album. It's a very good album. And when I put the album in, the first thing I heard was, Slim Shady. When I first heard that, I'm like, okay, I thought it was like a joke. Like, they played a prank on me. This ain't the real Eminem show. You know what I mean? Then, of course, it finally came in. And I was bored, man. Only song I like on that bitch is Let's Get Down to Business. Something, the business. I like that song. But, man. But that's how we survived, though. Interview person that I keep on being about to call Vlad. Just playing that, man. Playing Eminem show, being bored, playing Run DMC, greatest hits, and Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. You know, that's what we did. And when we was locked out, shit, we was living like bombs, and like, I mean, being a CAW champion. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, with CAW, we didn't have anything, but we put together something. And so, being a champion of that organization and having to eat out the trash is embarrassing, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers like, you were supposed to have millions of dollars. You supposed to be here. You supposed to be... And they don't know. Shit ain't right, man. You know what I mean? But hey, that's that. It's crazy, man. The first Bad Hell Yeah episode, It was surprising. What was the talks going on in XTV? Shit. Remember what I told you, man, earlier? Is you got the high class people with the high class people and the low class with the low class. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's like that for all these years, and we having beef, we having issues, you know what I'm saying? Fuck that togetherness shit, nigga. I wanna be on top. When we seen HY fail, you know what I'm saying? It was every man for themselves. Everybody was trying to be that next man. It's like when Jay-Z went to retire. Nigga, everybody was like, oh, since the best artist retired, it's my turn, it's my turn, it's my turn. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was when we seen HY fail. It was like, whoa, the king has been dethroned. And everybody was just, that's why we got so amped up on different shit like CAW, and niggas promos was a lot more colorful, and everybody was trying to be that thing, you know what I mean? Because they wanted that spot, they wanted to be the next thing, you know what I'm saying? Shit, motherfuckers tired of living poor, like going back to Hugh Street, you know what I'm saying? On Hugh, we locked out our house, man. Yeah. But the pain and people like that, they wasn't, they didn't have to worry about being locked out the house on Hugh Street, because they didn't live with in the side's house. They had their own mansion, they had their own everything and shit, their own entourage. We ain't had that. We had struggle. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we wanted to get on his level. So it was every man trying to get to that level. Like, fuck that togetherness shit. We are the world. Hold hands across America. Nigga, your hand dirty. I don't care. I'm trying to get to the top. That's what it was when HY failed. You know what I mean? And what do you think made it fail? I mean, being this big juggernaut of a show for all these years, what happened? XTV West is a great place. But one thing we were great at doing, is just running shit to the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's like something be funny, and instead of capitalize on it at the time, like instead of capitalize on what was funny and make it more funny or see how to do it different ways, we'll do the same shit over and over and over. And when it's that redundant, nothing grows from it. But what does grow is your audience away from that shit. You know what I mean? And I think that's just what happened. It's like they did something that worked for a particular audience at a particular time. When that time is over and that audience has grown up, and y'all doing the same shit, they gonna change the channel and switch to the next thing. And that's why the other people in XTV was trying to be that next thing, because they was like, okay, it's my turn then, and it was all this crab in a barrel type of shit that eventually caused the sides era to the West Coast sides era to like be in a bit of a drought. You know what I mean? When nobody wasn't paying attention. Is like, because that's how it started to me. First, nobody wasn't paying attention to Hell Yeah. Then nobody wasn't paying attention to TXG. You know what I'm saying? West. Oops. Give me one moment, Frank. One damn moment. If you don't give me one, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Don't laugh like that, all sarcastic and shit. Soup. I mean, the Hunter's Point episode though, like going back there, I mean, because at this time they still had the youthfulness. I mean, it wasn't the '03 HY era. Like they still have that young voice. Man, it's like what I told you, dude. I'm about to call Vlad again. It's dated. You know what I'm saying? And it's old. Shit. Niggas that watch Blues Clues don't watch Blues Clues no more. Now, I know how you feel about it, man. Damn. I talked about the glass match, on Vlad TV, and I think with somebody else with Too Hot, and it's nothing more I can add. All I can do is just refer you to that podcast. It has just been uploaded today at 7/12/2017. Monster Vlad interview. You know what I mean? We just uploaded it literally as I'm sitting here. And I talk about that bullshit glass match, but I guess I give you a bit of a synopsis. Me and Too Hot was still feuding in the later years of 2002. You know what I mean? I said the later years, late 2002 I meant. And we fought in a glass match, and it was a object built like a Hell in a Cell. However, it was just glass. And this was one of many whack ass concept ideas that CAW had at the time. You know what I mean? It was an interstate match as well around this time that sucked, and this was one of them ones that was really bad. I wish we never had this match, but shit changed, and people grow up, the world spin, niggas hate. Super Antonio versus Trunks, to me, was the end of an era movie. Oh yeah? What makes you say that? It's the end of an era because this was the last time Tony B or Side XTV West did a physical movie. You know what I mean? That just wasn't recorded. Excuse me. It's the last time. And it was good though. And I think this was one of the best send-offs. You had Tony B and Big Trunks, being the spy of Kong, and it was very interesting. It was a great concept. And I mean the ending of the movie when they both die. And I think it won, top thing of the year, top thing of '02. Or either that or it was nominated. I think Broken Cross actually won. I'm mistaken. When you see a film like, and why do you think a film like this was never done after that? I mean, do you think they knew that it was a new era and it was time to change? That, on top of the fact that shit was just getting old, man. It's old. Like, the concept is old, and it was no point. Like, it's no growth with that. I got heartburn, and that's just how I feel, man. It was good at the time, but like, we can't really talk too much about it because it's so blurry, like looking back at shit like that, and it's old, man. You know what I mean? The shit got dust on it, and it's blurry. Now, we're going to go into 2003. Oh, shit, 2003. I'm only doing this for the kids and me. Well, this was a crazy ass year, man. What you want to talk about? CAW, when it came back, Legends of Wrestling. This was epic at first. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when this came out, Legends of Wrestling, you know what I'm saying? This is when CAW was getting back to being normal. Getting based. Like, just calming down. Because what happened in '02 during what they call the Show You Right era is the concepts would just get too bizarre. Again, I'm going to keep saying that shit. Interstate match. You know what I mean? When you got those ridiculous concepts, you lose your audience because it becomes too bizarre and too stupid to even watch. So you enter into CAW Legends, it's like, shit, you couldn't do all these concepts, you know what I mean? And we started getting good again. You know what I mean? We started getting really good, actually. And it was fun again. I mean, you had so many people come out. It was a guy named Karate and Hell with Cowboy Jones' stable. How did you feel about the influx of rookies coming in? I was like, about time. Shit, about time. I kept saying that too. I remember, dog, cause Too Hot just seen me in the locker room one time. It wasn't nobody in there but me, and I just kept on going, by time, by time. He was like, you straight over there? I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. By time. But what was happening in '02? I've been stuttering all damn day. What happened in '02 is we was using all old talents, you know what I'm saying, and bringing them into CAW. We was using a whole lot of their ass, Lex Express, TJ Combo, a lot of guys from the SIDE era, and we was just using the same old motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how can a company grow when we using old talent? And we started to use, you know what I'm saying, younger guys, like bring in Karate, bring in Hell, and those guys added a new element to the show and something different, you know what I mean? And that's what I like the most about it, is that we was reaching out and finding something new instead of the same old shit that, you know, has been played out. So yeah, CAW Legends, man, it was fun again, you know. I mean, but I will say again, it got ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like we just fell into that old trap again. And what do you think happened? I mean, because just I'm having memories as we speak about this, like Trunks coming out there and briefs and looking very weird. Like what was going on? Probably drugs with some of them niggas. You know, but just being uncreative. You know, sometimes you hit a writer's block. I think we was working on a lot of shit around that time too, when CAW started to fall into that same trap. And I think that, you know, we wasn't really thinking, like, XTV West used to just be that bizarre ass place. Like, I think that's just what it was. It was just crazy as hell, you know what I mean? But it used to have charm to it, but it started to get too stupid, you know what I'm saying? And that's what happened though. We just lost concept of the direction of XTV West and of CAW, that is. But yeah, man, that's what happened with it. Crash Bandicoot with Romy and Pain. This was something that really would have changed. I just wonder what it would have done for the culture of XTV if this would have really went down. You know what I'm saying? And it would have really been a show, cause this was big, man. This was like, cause Payne did his thing with Dee Dee and the Witch Doctor for all them years. Romy did it first, you know, all those games that Payne did. But here these two coming together. It's a new game. It's a new concept. Here we go. What's gonna happen? And I remember the first episode was so funny and it was great. It was the Witch Doctor and Dee Dee, and like they were alternating switch. Sometimes it would be the Witch Doctor and Romy, or it would be Justin and Payne, and you know, it would be the Witch Doctor and Dee Dee and then Justin and Romy. You know, it'd be like that. And that shit was so good. And it had such high potential that like we didn't want to see it leave. You know what I'm saying? But of course, what happened to it happened to it. But I mean, I think that this was a great idea, you know, cross branding. And this is one of them things where it's like, damn, I think they starting to get it. Try something new. Stop doing the same shit. You know, because I think that's what was wrong with the Size era, man. Doing the same thing. But this was something where they was trying something new. You know, because they always been a fixture on every TV show anyway. You know, Bobby couldn't really complete Ape Escape like that without them commenting and, you know, roasting his ass all the time. You know, now they got a show together. These two dudes that are the major voice of XTV West and East. You know what I'm saying? And this shit finna be good. And it was, that first episode. But they never got to do a second episode, which is what's crazy. Do you think it could come back now? Hell no. Hell no, man. Shit done changed, man. This ain't size no more. It's XTV West. Shit is a lot more elaborate. We really take our time with shit, and we can't just throw shit out there. I think Ada told the story best on her Joe Show podcast that one time when DT was doing DT Kong Racing or whatever the fuck, and LT came out there and destroyed that whole shit right there. You know what I mean? It's like saying how DT is backtracking by doing some shit like that, which makes sense. It's like XTV is supposed to always move forward. You know what I'm saying? We never supposed to go back and be like, oh, what it could have been. It's like, no, it happened, and now this is happening. A lot is happening. Let's improve on what's already happening instead of what didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Even though it could have been good, even though it had potential, it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? And that's just life, man. You live, you learn, and then you die. And somebody else do the same shit you did. Hopefully they do it better. Epic. Give me a minute, person I'm about to call Vlad. Alright, take your time. Excuse me. When Moonsault came in, dog, everybody had something to say. We get on XTV East Coast a lot saying how they didn't give people a chance because when they will first look at somebody at the time, oh, you dress like this, oh, you do this, you do that. When Moonsault came in, ain't nobody think he was gonna last. He was just a little dude that wore blue. You know what I mean? That was influenced by 1-2-3 Kid. Like, that's your story. This dude's so lame. And he surprised us all. You know what I mean? Seeing him come out there and win like he was winning, and just everything he was doing, it was like, wow. Hold on. Moonsault won the CAW title in his first year, the youngest CAW champion of all time. Yeah. And he did a lot. I mean, did he surprise you? Yeah. Damn right he surprised me. Me, Too Hot in Pain, and Moonsault Kid. Understand, at this time in 2003, we were the three big dominant people in CAW. I'm big as hell, my big ass arms, my big body, you see me, Too Hot and Pain, like that's a big ass deal. Like us three alone in a three-way dance, that's turning heads. But then you put Moonsault in there, and for him to have the lowest power, no power, in his power bar, and still win is amazing. And like, that just goes to show you the power of him, man. You know what I mean? It couldn't be underestimated. And from that, he moved to the main roster, SmackDown. And for him to be on SmackDown, dog, all I can say is well deserved. You know what I mean? Like, he broke out. You know what I mean? And that did bring jealousy, though, in some of the locker room in XTV, I will say, especially with Best. You know what I'm saying? They got into countless feuds around this time. Yeah, And I heard Best's story already. I don't want to repeat nothing he said. But, like, basically, when we've already been here, myself, Too Hot, all these different people, when we've been here and trying to get to that mainstream spot, and then some young kid just come in and boom, he take it, it's like, some people was jealous. I wasn't jealous, I was surprised that he was that good, and, proud that he made it to something better. Because CAW was just, it wasn't for him. And, he thrived very well. over the years. Who were some of the people that were jealous at the time? Shit, I see everybody that first left, and got major success. Hint, hint, Frank. So you mean Best in Pain? Man, I ain't gonna say the Pain, but I say more so Best. You know what I mean? Cause Best ass, he ain't like Moonsault. He couldn't stand him. You know what I mean? And because he just never expected to lose that much to somebody. But yeah, Moonsault Kid was the first person that made sides change as far as the wrestling era, because there was no more gimmicks. You know what I mean? When you look back at it in hindsight, the sides era, everything was a gimmick, and every match wasn't like a classic 5-star, 10-star match. It was just like some shit we was doing because we was bullshitting. You know what I mean? But this time an athlete came, and it made people step their game up. You know what I mean? And really try to have classics out there. And people like him, Bobby Classic, you know what I mean? Like, that was that era, and I think that was the start with Moonsault Kid, because we never seen moves like that, never seen nobody do nothing like he was doing. And it was amazing. And I remember we did CAW The Return in 2013, and shit, he can still go, but at the end of the day, that was a special time. And he was young, he was red hot, and hey, what can you say, man? All you gotta do is clap for a nigga like that. Donkey Kong returning was ugly. Oh wow. This is when the Top Dogs. This is when it was starting to be more so official. Like, it's over for y'all niggas. The whole Donkey Kong Pain era. Cause to have that low viewership, it meant something. I don't care what nobody say, but when the views say not that much, that means something, man. Like, that means that you doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? And obviously they was. I think it was because they got older, though. I mean, exactly. You can't be the older. Do you see Steve still doing Blues Clues? You know what I'm saying? Like, you do shit for so long. Like, and I remember I was watching an interview a while back. They was interviewing that dude, Steve from Blues Clues. They was like, how come you don't do that show no more? And I cut it off right there. Like, why would he still be doing that damn show all these years later? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, really? Would y'all still watch if I was on it? And that's just what this represents to me. It's like just some old ass men doing what they used to do when they was younger. It ain't the same, because y'all ain't young men. Y'all old as hell now. You know what I'm saying? I seen that Gray and Trunks hair when he turned around real fast trying to do something funny. Yeah, that's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Don't hit me. Don't try to hit me. Don't say nothing wrong about me. The DK return was ass. And the HY return, that was a little more better, but it still was ass. You could just tell, like, with the whole Diddy and Kong thing, that shit was getting older. And, it was just, it had its day. But shit always surprises you. You know what I'm saying? Because the next year, HY started being big again. But you could still see that it was time. Like, it was over. Like, a lot of people that died, a lot of famous people that died, they always, like, you always hear about them. Like, people that, when they be on drugs and shit, You always hear that their last days was so special. You know, you see Prince riding a bike. You know what I'm saying? And you see them doing all this positive stuff, and then they die. You know, that's kind of what the legacy of HY is. It's like, you seen the shit declining. You seen it dying. And just cause the last few episodes in 2004 was good, don't mean a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Cause ultimately it wasn't good enough, cause that shit straight failed. You know what I mean? And it was gone. You know, but I think that if you was there and you was looking at the audience retention and all that, and being around the tension of Trunks in pain, you know, you just knew that sooner or later shit was gonna be over with. And it was. When the Best in Pain left for WWE, it wasn't surprising. You know, what was surprising is Best winning the title from all these different organizations, and, you know, really doing this thing with it. You know what I'm saying? What do you think happened? I mean, with the WWE being really big. Survivor Series 2003, you know, Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell match, and KBS versus no. That was KBS versus Brock Lesnar, and regular match for the title or some shit like that. That whole card was crazy, you know, and I think that shit got so popular where that gave people in XTV an alternative. Is like, shit, fuck this, man, you know. It, like, CAW in size itself was becoming a sinking ship, and I think that that's just where everybody was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It was like, man, I ain't feeling this shit no more. And I think that Best did a smart thing, you know. And people can say whatever they want about his career. You know, he fell off. He has. But, hold on. That shit is amazing, his career. You know, winning all those titles from different organizations, and going to this organization, WWE, and fighting for him against Terry Funk and all them people, and winning. You know, this was an amazing time. You know, I was proud of Best, though. Like, people be like, oh man, you wasn't sad that, you know, he left and you was in CAW. I don't whine over bullshit that's going on. You know, I just find my way to work through it. You know what I mean? And that's truly what I did, dog. Like, I just worked through my shit. And, you know, I mean, what about the Best snapping and going out in random matches, beating up referee Woody, yourself? He ain't beat me up. Hell no. Nah. Oh, he didn't beat you up. Nah, he better not put his hands on my ass, nigga. I'll kill that little motherfucker. He ain't that mad now. It's just, man, he was going through some things, man. Shit. You know, I think it happens to the best of us. You know, we go through stuff and we don't really know how to put out how we truly feel. So we attack the people that's closest to us, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think he just lost itself. And we seen what happened with that. He got his respect later, but he did this shit again, and this time XTVE seen it, and it took him a long time to recover from it, and then he did, and now he got to try to do something again, because he's still his damn side piece Bob, or whatever the fuck he is today, you know. But that's just how I feel about that. So, another thing that I'm pretty sure you don't want to talk about. Yeah. The group home. Look, man. This whole shit started over Tony B pulling out a knife on his brother. You know what I mean? And it was just stupid. You know what I mean? Like, remember sitting on that damn bed, he be getting on my nerves. You know what I mean? One of them type of cries where you can't really breathe, and people want you to talk about some shit, but you don't feel like talking. But everybody wants you to talk about whatever what's going on, and you breathing all awkwardly, and you like tired too. So you like, what happened? You know, one of them cries is like, you ugly and snot. Ugh, what the fuck, bro? You know, and shit, that happened, and from there, he went to that damn home. And I mean, when this happened, understand Tony B really hated life. Like, this is one of them times where it's like, no, motherfucker, I wanna die. Like, it was that type of shit. Like, bitch, kill me, please. You know what I mean? And luckily, you know, he recovered from that because CAW started getting good again. You know what I mean? And go ahead. Yeah. CAW started getting good again, but it was no XTV programming, and you know that's what really fucked us up is that we went to Hugh Street, you know, as we mentioned, and you know it was nothing. Like it just got worse and worse. Like damn, CAW came in and '02 and it was good. Then it had to stop, and then Hunters Point, then Hugh Street, we couldn't do shit. Then '03 we back. You know, shit is lackluster. But you know, certain things are building up a little bit. Now we can't do a damn thing because we into this group home. You know what I mean? And man, it was bad. Well, we thought it was bad at first, but what started happening over time is, you know, we got used to it, and you know, it changed us, man. You know what I mean? For the better. And it was a whole lot of fun, dog. You know, like we did CAW over there. Oh, I'm sorry, Frank. You okay? Yeah, just having memories, man. A lot of memories too. You know, Joey ass falling and shit. It's not funny. You know, just funny shit. You know, I'm sorry I keep saying, you know, I had a rough night, sir. It's understandable. We talked about it already. Yeah. We talked about it. It's just my mind is just kind of just messed up. That's why I'm studying psychology. I'm pretty sure it's something way more major wrong with me. Tired of stuttering. I'm crazy. Anyway, yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. So that's what you guys did. I mean, because I noticed that you said during the Hugh Street era was when you guys would just record, you know, for like hours on end, or not record, I'm sorry, play Public Enemy, Fear of a Black Planet. But what you guys did for fun at the group home was just CAW. Yeah, so that's it. You know, sometimes Sandra, she'll say she gonna pick Tony B up for the weekend. She wouldn't come, so shit, we did CAW, man. You know what I mean? And we put Indestructible, like that was one of our pay-per-views. That did real big, and CAW started to get back good. But what ultimately took over was the WWE. You know, especially when Bez went there. You know what I'm saying? Like that killed everything else. Like there was no need to be doing CAW. It felt like, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, the artist actually came to CAW. Artist was good, yeah. Artist was good as hell. His finishing moves, cause you know XTV East, y'all already know about the artist, man. But shit, this is when he was actually standing out. You know what I mean? Because in SIDE, shit, he was just silent but violent. You know, every damn promo. You know what I mean? But he got to do more with this like in CAW. He was flying, he was hip tossing, and we started seeing his athletic, you know, side. That's one of the reasons he got brought back in '07 or '08. You know what I mean? And shit, he been good since then. Yup. Been good as a motherfucker. Yup. Moonsault as the champ. That's all. What else is gonna happen? You know what I mean? It's like he too good. You know what I mean? And you put him in a match, with anybody. Like, it just felt like anybody he would get put in there with, he'll win up against. And that's not to be on his dick. Ain't on no man dick. But it's just, that's just what he did, man. He went out there, he showed and proved, and he wasn't scared, dog. You know, like, that's what I think I mostly respect about him. You know, it's his fearlessness. It's like he didn't care who you was, what you said. He would go out there and he would make you have a classic. You know what I mean? I'm just a big dude. Like, you know, all I I can't do it that well. Hold on. Damn, I still can't do it. Fuck it. You know, I'm just this big ass motherfucking monster. But you see, shit change. You know what I mean? Hold on. It's just he would make me just do all kind of shit that I ain't even know I was doing, man. Like, you know what I mean? And that's a good opponent when he make you do your best. You know what I mean? And have a classic. Because damn, that boy there, that's one crazy boy. When James wrote his story about being a rapper, what is it with XTV West and people saying that they were rappers when they weren't? When niggas fall off, they try to do whatever they can to stay relevant. Or when niggas feel like they gonna fall off, they do whatever they can in order to stay relevant. It's like you on the edge of this cliff. You know what I mean? And you got a choice to write this thing or do whatever. Like somebody holding you over a cliff and you about to fall off. You know what I mean? It's like, shit, what you gonna do? I don't know, bitch, I'm a rapper. You know, that's just Lex Luger take his shirt off and flex type of thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's just it. Cause Trunks done did it. James did it. Somebody else. You did it. I ain't never been no damn rapper. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Get out of here with that. It ain't fell off that bad. Not yet. Oh, not yet. Well, anyway. So, person I was gonna call Vlad, man, he was just in a real state where he didn't know what he was, and he did his story. James and the Pioneers, and this song was Hail to the Pioneers, Hail to the Pioneers, down goes the Kings and up went the Pioneers. You know, he was trying to be like a group from the 80s or 90s. It was ass. And it was brought up upon based off of Behind the Music, right? Yeah. That's another thing we talk about behind the story. That's another thing we did in 2002. You know, it was a show, a fake ass Behind the Music. We was telling the stories of different people and stuff like that. And things was getting documented. But anyway, on to this one. It was a okay story. It just should have been written better. You know what I mean? Like, I think the main character's name, like, James' dad left, but another guy came in who happened to have the same last name as James. It was just kind of ridiculous, you know. But but again, you know, even though it don't work, it's like you gotta give it up for motherfuckers trying to be different. You know what I mean? Because that's what XTV West is supposed to be. Like, we supposed to stand out from the rest of the people going on doing their thing. You know what I mean? And looking back, it was cool. You know, but shit, things just become dated. And I think they ripped that shit on a F&K episode. So, you know, that goes. Vice City, it's the one that started it all. Yeah, because I think he tried to do GTA 3, but it just didn't work. Why do you think it didn't work? Because he couldn't swim. Wait, he couldn't swim on Vice City. Yeah, but man, I don't know. I'm just gonna put it to you like this. Even though GTA 3 changed a whole lot for the gaming industry, it's like when we played it, dog, like, we ain't like it. You know what I'm saying? It just felt so slow in a way. You know, with Vice City, I remember, like, it just felt like you could move better, you know, and Shit, man. I think that's just when James and stuff was on fire more. Like they was already on that they about to fall off block, but this put them to the top. And like I told you, the little lower community, you know what I mean? We was trying to be that next thing because we thought they was falling off, but shit, then they do this. They superstars, you know what I mean? And I mean, this blew me away though, dog. Like the graphics, the presentation, it being set in the 80s. Understand around this time too, XTV West Coast loved anything 80s. Like we would go crazy over, I love the 80s and all that different shit. Before the whole 80s throwback shit got played out, this is when it started and this is when it was good. You know what I'm saying? 2003. Like that shit was so tight. And we enjoyed it, man. The whole Vice City thing and the Pain and Trunks and Best, they all had good chemistry, you know what I mean? And that's what made this special. Like this was even nominated for Recording of the Year of that year, '03. And this was fun, man. I used to have a blast just watching it, and being depressed that I never make it. It's okay, you made it. You made it. I did. We only have a few more things, Monster, before we finally wrap this up. That's good, man. I'm sleepy. Woody is the champion. What the fuck happened? What, like, that's the first thing I said. What happened? Like, how? I don't even remember who he beat. But Woody is the champion surprised me because I think he held that shit for a while too. You know what I mean? And Woody just came, like he just kind of popped up. I'm like, the nigga from the spot, the doggy show, yeah. I was blowed. I'm like, he ain't supposed to be champion. And I think that's what was blowing everybody away is he just so wasn't supposed to be the champion. But he was, and he held on to it. And, I don't know what it is with Woody. Maybe because the story got out that he used to beat on Ada when he was with her. He kind of blacklisted. But you got to give him his respect for holding down that belt for that long. For everybody not to believe in him and say that he can hold it down that long, it meant something. It did, I mean, and I remember everybody going out there trying to get a piece, but Woody would just win. Wow. Yeah, man, I mean, it wasn't Spot the Doggy that came. It wasn't Little Woody. It was Woody Johnson who had Woody in the Farm in like 96 and all that. He was the belt. He was the champion, And week after week, I mean, that whole era, dog, like I have nothing but good memories as far as '03 when I think of fun times like SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like we was having a lot of fun. And it was nothing that could kill that vibe, man. It was nothing but good times. Word. He said word. I heard you, nigga. SmackDown to me killed the physical era NXTV. The physical era is, of course, Tony B and Joe at really wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Where they big like wrestling all the time. You know what I mean? Joe had even made Tony B shit on himself when he was Beast versus Fast. Like. But this SmackDown again, this is one of them games that kept us grounded. Like we could just play a game instead of having to do all that physical shit. And don't get me wrong, with backstage segments, sometimes shit'll get physical, and it still do sometimes, but it ain't as crazy. You know what I mean? But right here, CAW, I said CAW SmackDown. This was a lot of fun, and this was a new era, and like we had a full roster, dog, and this was like a lot of fun. Loco was on there, King Kong, he'll have all these colors and shit. He'll be like, I'm gonna wear red, blue. That's another thing that also came back in '03. Super Mario, the whole Nintendo. Yeah, they was trying to push the Super Nintendo was back. They was trying to push that, and Mario did decent. Of course, Donkey Kong and them did bad, but it was a different era, dog. Like, you know what I mean? And things was growing though, you know. Like looking back at it now in hindsight, you see where it went though. You know, it's like all these different people that in a way you know that they know that it's gonna change. You know, so everybody was being different on SmackDown instead of being the same cliche thing. And I don't really feel well, man. Sorry. But everybody was just being different and trying to be that next thing to stand out, that next star. And Moonsault was the one that stuck out. And as a result, that was the era we went into, the athletic era. And everybody having a different fighting style. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's what I most remember about SmackDown Street. And I remember Justin asked, it's easy to see when you watch TV. If you look closely, you watching SmackDown. Yeah, man. One time he got tired. He was like, Smack. The last HY wasn't the last HY. Is it surprising to you, Monster, that we still have this recording of the supposedly last Hell Yeah from 2003? Does it surprise you that it's lasted these years? Damn right it do. It's like we've recorded by ourselves, you know, like officially since 2000. You could say 97, but we just recorded one time in 1997 by ourselves. But in 2000, you know, that's when we started to record a whole lot. You know what I mean? And for us to just, because we recorded every day. Like it wasn't like we just recorded one time here. Like, nah, we recorded every single day. You know what I mean? And we didn't miss a day. So when I look back at this time period, man, you know, it's just surprising that that's what we have left. An episode we didn't really like at the time, like that. But, you know, since it is older, it gotta have its respect. You know what I mean? Because shit, it lasted through all those different tapes. You know, that tape done seen a lot of shit come and go. You know, it's seen Catman 2. It done seen Sing Along. You know, it's been through a lot. You know what I mean? You should have that motherfucker on the podcast. Yeah. And, you know, as for the show itself, it is entertaining. You know, it's a great damn time capsule. You know, because just hearing the conversation that people was, hearing the shit people was talking about, and the things that was going on, it's interesting, dog. You know, and it's definitely an important piece in XTV history. You know what I mean? Because again, you see what was going on. I think they even make mention of some of the things that we actually mentioned just not too long ago during this whole podcast. Like, so that's why I'm glad this is the last thing we talking about as far as 2003. You know what I mean? Because this is something that we still have from '03 that, you know, is the piece of all we got left. My brain hurt. 2003 and 2002 in hindsight. This was the beginning of an end to an era and a new beginning for a new era in a way. You know what I mean? Because you seen things changing. You seen Hell Yeah dying. You seen Pain not being that top guy. You seen, you know, all these different people starting to lose their fame. And you started to see other things emerge out of that and from that and become what, you know, later became the TXG era. So it's not a bad era, man. You know, it's one of the most important eras in XTV because of where we was. Even though at the time we weren't having fun, you know, we weren't happy. But, you know, later on we became happy because shit changed and got better. My brain hurt. Well, there you have it. An hour and 14 minutes. Monster 2002, 2003.